Because of the illness, which I will not mention, a lot of y'all are probably wondering exactly when will you get your stimulus checks if you haven't received them already, and also when are you going to receive the additional $600 in unemployment assistance insurance. And a lot of y'all are probably considering calling the government and saying these words.
I want my money!
As emotionally satisfying as that probably is, it's not really going to help. So in this video, I'm going to be covering exactly when will these benefits hit and what you can do in the meantime. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to Financial Anatomy, the place where you can learn how to take control of your financial destiny. My name is Elijah, author of the best-selling book, The Anatomy of Financial Success, and the creator of the App Lifestyle brand, as well as Financial Anatomy. And in this video, we're going to be talking about exactly when you're going to get your stimulus checks, if you haven't already, and when will the unemployment benefits start kicking in, and what's the time frames that you can expect going forward for the future. Some of y'all probably noticed that I'm not in my usual set. That is getting some work done, so I am in my car for the moment, but don't worry. We're still going to bring this information to you because that's pretty much all the questions that I've been getting, so we're going to cover it. So first, let's cover exactly what the stimulus check is. So the stimulus check is a means for which the government can help Americans stay on their feet financially by giving them a little assistance, since a lot of people are in self-quarantine and their work has been affected. So anyone who's eligible for the stimulus check is if you made less than $75,000 a year if you're single, or less than $150,000 as a married couple. In order to be eligible for getting the stimulus check, you cannot be labeled as a dependent on anyone else's tax return. In addition to this, for every kid that you have that's under 16, you'll get an additional $500 as an added bonus to your stimulus check, which is $1,200, which is not bad. But keep in mind that your kids have to be under 16. If they're over 16, you won't receive that $500 per kid. People who are also drawing Social Security and other benefits are eligible for the stimulus check, so you'll actually be getting this too, which is awesome, right? Now, a lot of people, myself included, were kind of skeptical if Uncle Sam will be taking their nice share of this at the end of the year. Well, I got great news for you. This money that comes in the stimulus check and also the unemployment, which we'll be talking about later in this video, will not be counted in your 2020 tax return. So in essence, it's, I'll just say it, free money. No matter how you look at it, it is a generous thing for the government to do, seeing how many of us are self-quarantined and our work has been affected. So you do have to give props where it's due, so I give that a thumbs up. And as you probably already know by now, you'll only be receiving the stimulus check if you filed a 2018 or 2019 tax return, as that's the information they're going to use to calculate your income. If you haven't filed a tax return, the IRS actually has a portal, which I'll link at the bottom of this video, where you can actually put in all the information you need and they'll double check it without actually filing a tax return. So if you haven't filed a tax return and you want the stimulus check, I would get on that ASAP. So exactly when is the stimulus check coming? Well, the first dispatchment of checks have already gone out on the 14th. So some of y'all have your checks. So congratulations. But some of y'all don't, and you may be wondering exactly when is it going to be coming through. Now, obviously, these different dispatchments will be taking place throughout the next few weeks. But they've said that they'll be dispatching the physical checks on April 24th. So I'd imagine that they probably won't start that until they finish the direct deposit checks, which means if they have your accounting information, your banking information, they'll be depositing money directly in your account. So that means you could expect to get it between now and the 24th in theory. But since it is a government, they tend to do things slower. I would expect it between the end of the month and now. So I would just tailor my expectations there so you don't get disappointed. And since we just talked about paper checks, if the IRS doesn't have your direct deposit information, they will send you a physical check if you're eligible for the stimulus check. And the dates are as follows for the physical checks. If you made between $0 and $10,000, it's April 24th. $10,000 to $20,000, May 1st. $20,000 to $30,000, May 8th. $30,000 to $40,000, May 15th. $40,000 to $50,000, May 22nd. $50,000 to $60,000, May 29th. $60,000 to $70,000, June 5th. $70,000 to $80,000, June 12th. $80,000 to $90,000, June 19th. $90,000 to $100,000, June 26th. From there, the interval keeps increasing by $10,000 per week until you get in the middle of September. So that means that you can expect the physical checks to be rolled out in those intervals based on that weekly basis. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But generally speaking, if you want your money as fast as possible, you do want to make sure the IRS has your banking information on file, which you can fill out in the link below in the description. It's also worth mentioning that a bill has been proposed to send Americans $2,000 per month until this whole thing blows over. That's not set in stone yet, so we're not going to cover it. But if it does end up passing, then we'll make a video and cover that too. Before we tackle the unemployment questions, I want to say if you're liking this video, give it a like, really helps a lot. And consider subscribing if you're new so you can stay up to date on information as far as the stimulus checks and unemployment benefits or benefits that are coming in general. You'll also want to consider checking out my Working From Home series, where I show you how to make money from home just using your computer using various skills. Even though the government is sending us money, I say it's a huge missed opportunity if you don't use this free time to learn a new skill set and also learn how to make money from home. So you'll definitely want to check that out. You could learn a skill and begin monetizing it later, and later down the line you'll have that skill set and you can make even more money. Or in general, you just feel better knowing that you have a skill that you can monetize this outside of the norm in terms of working a 9 to 5. So the amount of unemployment you'll receive generally would vary from state to state, but part of the CARES Act, which was passed, means that you're going to get an additional $600 on top of whatever your state unemployment is going to pay. So to back this up a little, if you worked at a job which required you to fill out a W-2, you're eligible for the standard unemployment insurance plus the additional $600 per week, which is part of the CARES Act, which was passed, as long as you were let go for one or more of the reasons that's covered in the CARES Act. Let's go over a few of those now. Keep in mind that these are all as a result of the outbreak, which has affected you as an employee. You being let go from your job, your hours have been reduced, your commissions have been reduced, you're unable to get to work, you're forced to stay at home because your child is no longer receiving any daycare. These are just a few reasons that are covered in the CARES Act, but generally speaking, if your work has been affected by the outbreak in a negative way, which has affected you financially, you're eligible to receive unemployment. And the more popular and favorable news is this lasts for 39 weeks from when you receive your first deposit or paycheck. So that's about 6.5 months. Not bad, right? The 39 weeks applies to the standard unemployment insurance though. For the actual additional $600, you're eligible to receive that through July 31st, which is still not that bad. Who knows where we'll be at in terms of this pandemic by then. Hopefully things will be changing for the better. But I'm guessing if things are still more on lockdown, they may make some adjustments to that. But we'll just have to stay tuned to see how that plays out. For those of y'all that are self-employed like myself or an independent contractor, there's been the second part of the CARES Act, which specifically deals with us. It's called the PUA. This stands for Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. What this is basically an extension of this law to reach out and cover self-employed people and independent contractors, which under normal circumstances wouldn't happen, but we're not in normal circumstances, so they got to do something for us too. Many of y'all may actually be a little flustered because a number of states, well, I shouldn't say a number, most states actually have not adjusted their websites so that people, independent contractors and self-employed, can apply for the PUA through their website. So you go there and it's not set up to put in 1099 information or apply for this yet because it was passed on the federal level and it needs to still trickle down to the state level. Like everything involving the government, these things are going to take time. I know it can be kind of flustering, but one thing you can do until adjustments are made to the website so you can go ahead and apply is every day you just type in Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, then the name of your state, and just keep clicking on that link, that the first thing that pops up, and keep checking if adjustments have been made. And if it has been made, you go ahead and apply immediately. You can rest assured though that all that wait time that you've been waiting is actually been taken into consideration. So in terms of the amount of time you'll be receiving these benefits, it's going to still be the same, even if the start date is a little later than the other people mentioned in this video. With things being the way they are, I wouldn't be surprised if every state gets that up and running maybe by the end of the month. So just keep checking. I don't have a psychic eyeball and I can't literally predict when every state is going to have it. That's just a general guess, but I'm noticing that every day, maybe a state or two updates it. So maybe by the end of the month, all of them will have it in there. Just got to ask for a little patience. You can call the IRS, you can call the government, but at the end of the day, they're just going to tell you the same thing I'm doing. So that time is better used doing something else, and just take the 5 minutes out of the day to just check the website. And once it's updated, go ahead and apply. So what if you're not sure if you're eligible for any of this or not? Well, just apply. I mean, the worst case scenario is they say no. And what is no going to do? It means nothing. And best case scenario is they say yes, and you get the benefits which we've discussed in this video. So what do you have to lose? Unfortunately, as far as unemployment goes, this doesn't apply to essential workers. So if you work in a hospital or Amazon or stuff like that, unfortunately, this doesn't apply. And the law is written so you can't just quit this job and receive the unemployment benefits. It doesn't work that way. So it is what it is with that. But I want to give you a particular shout out because you're literally the backbone in our society right now. So just stay strong. Eventually, we're going to get through this pandemic. I also want to mention you want to make sure that all your PTO, which stands for paid time off, is used up, as well as your vacation, because if you have any of these just in your inventory, you're not going to receive unemployment. They have to be used up. And it's also worth noting that you don't have to be fully out of a job or out of work in order to receive unemployment benefits. You can actually be affected in terms of your income has been reduced or your workload has been reduced, and you can still receive some unemployment benefits. So like I said, it never hurts to apply, and don't worry about making more money than you actually were at your full-time job back when you were working, because in this situation, that actually doesn't matter. It's fine. So that covers the current information on the stimulus checks as well as the unemployment benefits. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If changes are made, which I suspect they probably will, as far as a stimulus check being sent reoccurring on a monthly basis or an extension of unemployment benefits, I'll be sure to make a video for y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. If you want to learn more tips about personal finance as well as stay up to date on this information, and give a like for the YouTube algorithm, really helps a lot. I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to get out there and take control of your financial destiny.